everybody, this is Katrina, the owner of COSMarketing Agency, and we're here with another video. Today we're going to talk about how to audit your marketing at the end of 2025. That way you can set yourself up in a great position to do things differently in 2026 to take your business to the next level in the new year. You do not want to miss out on this one. And once again, I am Katrina, the owner of COSMarketing Agency. Make sure that you hit that like, share, and subscribe button. As a small business owner, it means a lot to us. And hit that notification bell. That way you can be notified about what we post. And we're dropping content every single day, guys, about all forms of marketing. And going into 2026, there's a lot of changes around the horizon. So let's get right into it. Since 2025 is coming to a close, we want to go through and walk through specific steps to help you evaluate your current marketing strategy before 2026 to identify any gaps that might be there and highlight things you could do differently as you move forward. First thing you want to ask yourself is what worked, what didn't, and where did you invest the most time and money? That's key. So these are all questions you want to ask yourself. Now, if you want specific feedback related to those answers, well, that's going to take writing us, sending us an email, or commenting below. Make sure that you comment below on this video if you want to follow up and let me know how it goes. So let's start with social media because that's what most of you are doing for the most part. So social media is a great place to start. First thing you want to do is review the platforms that you're currently on. Are you active, and are you active where your audience actually spends time? So keep that in mind. Check your engagements. Are you tracking analytics? Are you getting likes? Are you getting comments? And are those likes and comments actually translating into sales? Right? It does not matter that much if you're commenting, responding to people if they're not converting. Think about that. How can we convert more people? You also want to audit your content library. Do you have enough original photos and videos and testimonials and things like that? Or are you relying too heavily on stock content, AI, and stuff that doesn't have a realistic representation of your business? If that's the case, you want to start taking more content that's actually of you and your staff and things that you do and services that you provide. And this is not just because that's what the algorithms want. The algorithms want to see, content that is going to lead to engagement that is realistic and, coincides with what you do as a business. But also the general public wants to see updated content. People do not want to see the same photos and videos over and over again. Trust me, eventually on a long enough timeline, they will notice. So let's jump over to SEO and website performance related topics. That's obviously a huge one, guys. You want to run a quick audit of your Google business profile. That's a big thing you guys are leaving behind. Is it updated? Is your Google business profile updated? Is your hours correct? Your services, all of your contact information, everything. Are you posting there? Do you guys even know that you could post there, right? You want to post photos and videos on that Google business profile every single week. Look at your keyword rankings. Are you showing up in terms of your ideal clients that are searching online? Where are you coming up? You know where you're coming up. These are the times where you want to start thinking about that. All right, let's talk about paid ads and budget allocation. Now, a lot of you guys are not running paid ads, but you should. And the ones who are, listen up, and the ones who are not in 2026, what are you doing? You don't have to start out with $1 million budget. Just start with something, right? You got to run targeted ads as a business going into 2026, especially Google. That is the smartest choice in our humble opinion. Now, when it comes to the ads, are you reviewing your ad spend if you're currently running these ads? Which campaigns are delivering more ROI and which are kind of a drain on your budget in comparison? Start to think about these things. Compare cost per platform. Yes, Google ads tend to be more expensive than Meta ads, but Google ads tend to give you way better prospects. So you're going to weigh these options, right? Audit your targeting. Are you reaching the right demographics, or are you wasting time by not being, as specific or deliberate with this audience building? Are you targeting the wrong audience entirely? Again, more things to think about. Then you always want to tie things back to the brand and the messaging. Does your brand feel authentic, or does it look kind of generic? Does it have a consistent brand voice across all platforms? Could I look at your Facebook and it's clear if I'm on your Instagram or your YouTube or your website or other platforms that it's still you, right? It doesn't have to be repetitive, but it has to have a similar kind of look and vibe and style, right? That's very, very important. Here are some things you want to think about going into 2026. Invest into video content now. Do not wait. Run, do not walk. You should have been doing that years ago, but you got to do that now in 2026 for sure. You also want to leverage AI wisely. Don't use AI that doesn't look authentic or is being used in a way to manipulate people. Use AI in the way that it's going to help you with efficiency, with building captions on videos. That's a good easy one for AI. Scheduling content, producing data and analytics, doing research, helping you with ideas and maybe creating copy in or on some of these posts, things like that, helping you automate workflows and things like that. Just not using it in a way where you're telling people, hey, this is a real person, but it's not. Things like that. Just be honest and straightforward. Use AI in a way that's going to make your life efficient. And a lot of software and systems and tools just have it built in now. But yeah, keep in mind, some of it may take a little bit of work and time to understand, but overall, it's going to save you a lot more time and money. So do not wait. The AI train has already left the station, and right now you're running after it. So make sure you're sprinting. Basically, that's what I'm going to tell you right now. Also, keep in mind, seasonal and local campaigns. We're going into the holidays and then out of it into the new year. So keep in mind, there are going to be local trends, community events, things like that, holidays that are going to go on accordingly. A lot of holidays early in the year for certain cultures in January as well. So again, all things to keep in mind. And you know your target audience better than anyone else, or you should. So you know what's going to resonate with them in this time period, right? Fitness, that's going to be your biggest month, right? You got to come correct, come big, go big or go home, right? But it just, depends on every industry. Also, you want to make data-driven decisions, not feelings-driven decisions. Oh, we think this is going to work. How many people call me up and say, hey, we think this is a good idea? Well, what does the data say, right? And then they look at me blankly because they have no data, right? So make data-driven decisions, not feeling-driven decisions. Set clear KPIs or key performance indicators, KPIs, right? Is that lead generation, conversion rates, customer lifetime value, set things like that. Use analytic dashboards to track progress monthly instead of waiting year to year. Track it monthly. A lot of you guys are just waiting for months at a time and you're not looking at the numbers. What are they saying? Proof is in the pudding there. Marketing is not just about visibility, it's about trust. So again, just focus on building trust with your prospect. Understand, people are hesitant. We live in a world of lots and lots of scams. There's a lot of issues in the economy and things going on, a lot of mistrust in the world. So remember that. Remember how you feel sometimes as a consumer. And, again, it just goes back to trust. Everything has to be about trust building with your audience. Even if you're a long-term company in general that is trusted in your community and a lot of people know you, it's still very important to focus on trust in 2026. And trust me on this, the algorithms will thank you. Alrighty, so I want to transition to a completely different part of this video. Recently, we had a wonderful meeting with one of our clients. She is the owner of a Tiki hut company. She makes custom-made Tiki huts. They're amazing. She makes traditional Tiki huts. She makes ones that are more modern and in between, really anything to your liking, any size from big to small, in between, residential, commercial. She's absolutely killing it. When she started, they were doing great, don't get me wrong, but nothing like what they're doing right now. And it's been a really great journey. And, it's twofold. Part of it is the marketing, and the other part is because as a client, she's done such a great job of the follow-up, providing a good mechanism where, the prospects feel comfortable with her. She's closing deals left and right. And we recently did an interview with her. I really want to share her story. It's great with you guys. And just to give you guys a bird's eye view, a realistic idea of the experience you could look to in terms of working with us. So in 2026, if you say, hey, we need a marketing company, we don't want to do this ourselves, and you're interested in us, this will give you a realistic view firsthand from somebody that's been working with us for a while now. So I hope you guys enjoy that. So stay to the end of this video if you'd like to see that. Otherwise, it's been great seeing you. I appreciate your time, and we look forward to seeing you in the next one. Thank you so much, and please remember to like, share, and subscribe if you can. We greatly appreciate it. Hit that notification bell. Thank you so much, guys. See you in the next one. Bye-bye. Alrighty. So we're here with Yardanka. She is the owner of Native American Tiki Huts. Today we're going to talk about her business, her journey, and give you some insight about what it's like to work with COSMarketing Agency. I know a lot of you guys have watched our content, but only so much is behind the scenes, and very rarely do we get one-on-one time with a client. They're always, obviously busy doing their thing. So we're very happy to have you here, and thank you so much for taking the time with us here today. So tell us a little bit about yourself and your business.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's a pleasure being here with you. My name is Yardanka Ramirez, and I'm the owner of Native American Tiki Paw Huts. We specialize in Tiki Huts basically all the Tiki Huts and Tiki Huts you see in South Florida. We construct them, we do repair services on them, do rethatch services on them. We can do commercial and residential jobs.
Awesome. So how long have you guys been doing this for?
Yeah, absolutely.
And why did you guys start with that? Because obviously creating Tiki Huts, that's not a common thing.
No, it's not. It's very niche. My father created the business about 15 years ago, and it was just an opportunity for him to be able to create an income for him and his family, to support his family. And my dad has always just had a very business entrepreneur spirit. And within the last 2 years, I've been helping him out and taking things over. And so that's where we're at right now. 15 years into the game, and we're here now.
That's awesome. So what would you say is something maybe people don't realize about the craftsmanship that goes into Tiki Huts, or just the effort that goes into making something like that? Because we see it everywhere in Florida. We're here in Florida. We see them everywhere. But you always talk about it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work to do. So tell us a little bit about how you guys build these things and the effort that you guys put into do it.
Yeah, I think the main thing that people don't take into account is what we've talked about in the past is the time and the labor that takes into building these Tiki Huts and these structures. My crews work out of the Lake Okeechobee area, but we're servicing all of Florida. So we're taking jobs that are 2 to 3 hours a day, not round trip, just there. So there and back, we're traveling 5 to 6 hours a day. And on top of that, we're working in all different types of weather. We're working in the glazing heat during summer. We're working in the rainy parts of summer, and we're working in when it gets cold during the winter. So I think it's just very labor intensive and very time intensive. And that's why typically we're priced the way we're priced, is because there's a lot of time and care and effort that goes into taking care of them. My guys are waking up at 2 to 3 in the morning just to prepare to be on site for our clients at 7 to 8 in the morning. So, and then we're out of there, depending on the job, we can be there all day. And then they're getting back, to their families around 8 at night. So they're having about 16-hour days, 18-hour days. So just a lot of time, care, and then the craftsmanship that takes into going. My guys are very experienced. They have many years into this business, and it goes to show for itself, through the craftsmanship, through the wood, through the thatch, everything.
Yeah, I love that, and especially if you're getting something that's custom made, and I think basically everything you do is custom for the most part. You want that attention to detail. You want to make sure that it's made right.
Yeah, absolutely. We want to make sure our biggest priority is going to be our clients. We want to make sure that our clients are going to be happy with what they're buying. So anything that you have in mind, your image of what you want your backyard to look like, what you want your bar to look like, we want to be able to fulfill that for you. So yeah, definitely lots of attention to detail taken into it, and just overall making our clients very happy.
Yeah. And it might be hard to choose, right? Because you guys have been doing this for a long time, but what's one of your more favorite projects, at least maybe recently, that you could pull from, and why did that stick out to you?
Our favorite projects are going to be, for me personally, it's going to be just your standard Tiki hut. A Tiki hut built with cypress, hand cut, hand peeled cypress. I think it's just so aesthetically pleasing. It's beautiful, and with a natural palm thatch. Like sometimes your most, not to say, sometimes your most like basic is to me the most beautiful. Like I just love that natural, authentic, Seminole, Native American look. Those are always going to be my favorite jobs because it just comes out so beautiful looking, so strong, so durable, and just very, very reliable. Aside from the way the Tiki hut itself looks, you can customize them. You can put decor, you can put fans, you can put TVs. And then once you really deck it out to how you want it to be, I think that's absolutely beautiful. It absolutely changes the way your backyard looks, or the space that you're filling up looks.
Yeah, we talked about the design elements more and more. We're going to be putting out content. We're going to be rolling out content talking more about how to design your Tiki hut, and just how to just I don't know, just kind of make it your own, right? I think that's all part of the fun, and it's a good way to kind of get an idea of your vision. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. I think there's so much fun in that, especially for the demographic that we're serving. Typically, we serve the people that are retired, so it gives them something to do. It gives them a project. It gives them a space to, be themselves, express themselves, to relax, whatever that may look like. Watching football on Sundays, or decorating during the seasons, during the holidays, and taking your time and spending time with that. I think it's really beautiful for yourself and for your families.
Yeah, well, and entertaining is a big part of living in Florida, I feel like, in general, but especially for the older crowd. The older we get, the more we try to spend time with family and friends, and slow down and everything. And this gives you a way to do that without without being out there in the sun. It's brutal even for me. You can imagine what the older folks deal with, you know what I mean? So in just a very, very unique way, and it's a conversation starter too. And I can't say this for sure because I'm not a real estate expert, but I would think that would add some kind of value to your home. It certainly wouldn't hurt. I mean, you just see kind of the same thing everywhere again and again, this manufactured whatever. And then when you're on the market, you're trying to sell your home, and have certain things like that is unique and stands out, that they know you invested a lot of money into, that they don't have to buy. That's another selling point right there.
I completely agree with that. It also just brings that natural beauty to it. Like you're able to create something out of nature, construct it, and enjoy it. And it's absolutely it's overall beauty. And just adds to the aesthetic, to the appeal of your home.
Yeah. Well, you and I see the value of it. A lot of people see the value of it, but obviously in the last few months, things have changed. A lot more eyes are on this. A lot more people are talking. Why don't you talk a little bit about the challenges you faced before you started marketing versus now?
Yeah, personal and business wise, I would say the challenges that I would face. There's two main challenges: is people not seeing the value in what we're doing, not seeing the time, the labor that goes into it, and they don't feel it equally represents what they're paying for it. Another challenge I would face would be what used to be, leads and that traffic and getting calls prior to marketing, but now with marketing, things have been a lot better. Been getting those leads, been getting those calls, being able to turn those over and increase our client base.
And for some background for anybody who's new to what we're working on together, because I'm not sure how much we've talked about this, right? I did ask your permission before we started this to talk about the business and everything. We started out with SEO and Google ads, and now we're incorporating here shortly starting this month, even more SEO along with those Google ads. And we specifically focused on tailoring that because we have a very niche audience in certain areas that we prefer to service them. Like we were saying, we can't travel, but that's a lot. That also factors into the quote for the client. So, it was also to make sure that we're, hitting certain locations and we're dialed in, because it is very niche.
Yes.
Separately to that, we do talk about content in general, because I think it's good. Some of that was factored into the social media things you're doing on your end. You're very plugged in and dialed into taking content on your own. You do quite a good job with your social media, by the way. So, which is also, obviously going to help anything we're doing. But if anybody is out there wants to know what we're doing on our end, it's SEO and ad campaigns. So that's another thing too. A lot of people in general, and I understand this, are very apprehensive when it comes to Google Ads. Not Google in general, but the ad portion. I think that comes from a place of fear of the unknown, number one, and two, it is historically seen as very expensive and something that's outside of the scope of small businesses to do. Your business was has been around for a while, but it's still small and growing. That was a big investment that you put in there. But we talked about that, and we said, hey, this is more than likely the best thing for your business. Let's start out with this and give this a try. And your ad spend then grew over time, wasn't overnight too. So that's the other thing I want to say out there. You don't have to start out with thousands of dollars right away. You could start out with hundreds, as long as you have something else to back it up. We talked about that organic marketing being very helpful to fuel everything. You can run on an ad budget of $500 to $1,000 just starting out if you had to, and you could see very great results from doing that, and you could expand from there. So starting out, you were making about, if you don't mind me saying, how much you were making per sale versus now?
Yeah, absolutely. No.
Yeah. You're making on average probably about $3,000 per sale, and now you're at about $10,000 per sale. Some months it's 8 or 9, but obviously it's a complete jump in growth.
Yeah, absolutely doubled, and sometimes tripled, just depending on the week or the month.
Yeah. What do you think overall contributed to that growth?
I would say the overall contribution to that growth would be the effort and the patience that it takes to building a business. So the effort that I personally put into it, the people that work for me put into it, but also the effort on your end. I take a great pleasure working with you. You take your time. You're very attentive. So it's just effort from all groups. Everybody has to be putting in effort for the business to grow. And you also have to be patient with yourself, with your business, and with the people that you're working with. And I think once you have those two things, your business is bound to grow. You got to also mix in some discipline as well, making sure you're showing up for your business every day, making sure the people that you're working with, Katrina is showing up for the business ourselves, which she has done really well with. She's there every day. She's talking to me on a regular basis. She shows up. She's attentive. She's on time.
And all of that factors into it. And that's something a lot of people, I appreciate everything you said too.
Yeah, absolutely.
But that's something that I think a lot of people need to think about more in general. What are the things I can control on my end? Because there's certain things I can't control. I can't control other people. I can't control, the algorithms or the market or stuff that's going on in the world that might affect. I can't do it. I can affect myself, So, and I feel like a lot of business owners, they get also caught up in the day-to-day instead of just looking at the overall picture. Right, you got to understand that this is a big picture. A lot of this stuff takes time. But that being said, I think we started seeing, I think it was probably month 3, and I could be wrong, but once we got to month 3, it's like, okay, things are starting to really shift and are trying to move forward. And because you were in very good communication with us about some of the calls that you liked and some of the ones you didn't like, we were able to pivot quick and eliminate a lot of those keywords quickly, a lot of areas that just were not getting us the best clients. They're still getting us calls, but not what we wanted. And because you were able to give us that input quick, that was an easy thing to fix. And I think in general, if people are very patient, right, like you were saying, wait for some of these things to get cooking, and also in communication too. It's hard as a lot, like you said, it's nothing for you to do 10, 11, 12-hour days. A lot of our clients is the same thing. We deal with a lot of service-based businesses. They're outside, it's long hours, but you got to have somebody in contact with your marketing team if it's not you or something. It doesn't have to be every day or every week, but something. Put your thoughts down. It's a good way as a business owner to do that, get things out, and just share with you what's going on. Or if we got to meet like we're doing right now, I'm always there. And that's the thing. You're gonna get somebody who understands it, because I'm a business owner too. So I come in like another like a partner in a way. In a certain
absolutely. I completely agree with that. And I think that's what's very beautiful about the relationship that we have, is because we understand each other and we both show up. And that's what I very much appreciate about you and your company, because it's something that I see reflected with my company, and I appreciate that.
So, and we also talked about how the business is very niche. That's come up a lot. And I think especially with niche businesses in general, there's a different kind of fear and apprehension, because you're doing things that are, kind of breaking the mold a little bit, right? And you take that into account with being a female business owner. That's a relatively new thing in the world, right? So what advice do you have for people like you? They're female-owned business owners who are dealing with something niche, but they have a dream. They want to do something. They have a vision, but they haven't started yet, or they're just getting off the ground. What would you tell them in your position now, looking back?
Yeah, absolutely. I've been chasing businesses since I was 18, but I've never been able to fully commit to them. I'm almost 24 now, and I think the number one piece of advice that I would have is to be actionable and to take action. You can plan, you can write, you can think about your business all you want, but nothing's going to happen until you actually take action, right? You have to put effort into it. Showing up every single day, even if it's minuscule, even if it's 1%, that 1% will amount to 100%, 1,000%. And then over time, you'll start noticing that your business is growing. You're getting more clients, you're becoming more consistent, and just be patient with yourself. Things take time. Beautiful things take time. And then, be patient with yourself, be patient in the process. Sometimes it's not always about the end results, but it's sometimes about the journey and the growth that you go through with yourself, but with your business. So take action today. Don't leave it for tomorrow. Don't leave it for next week, because you're just going to keep pushing things along. Do it today.
Right. And don't be afraid to fail. At least you tried. At least, you know what I mean? Like, so many people live their life in regret. Watch videos of older people, in their 90s and 100s, and talking about things that they, regret that they can't do now. You don't want to live your life that way.
Absolutely.
It's always, I've made mistakes. I've had things not go my way. I've always learned something from it, though.
Absolutely.
Which is powerful. So if somebody was on the fence with working with us or doing marketing in general, they were on the fence, they're like, I might not be ready now. What's the one thing you would tell them that to push them?
I would say take a leap. Sometimes you just have to do it. I was pushing marketing for so long. I kept pushing it off. I'll get to it eventually. I'll get to it. And then once I, leaped into it and, took advantage of this company and took advantage of my position, that's when things really started rolling for me. So just take the leap, and then you'll find yourself through the process. You don't be afraid. Like you said, don't be afraid of failing. Failing is just more of a lesson. There's something on the other end of it. There's something to learn from it.
Anything that's new, I feel like it's always scary in the beginning. And you look back at it and you're like, man, I'm glad I did that, right? How many things in life? How many things in life are like that,
About everything, if you think about it, truly. Everything is like that.
All right, I got one last question for you. Thank you for being patient with me. If you were to describe your business in one word, and one word only, what would it be?
Successful.
Yeah, okay, I'll take it. That's good. It's hard. It's just one word, right?
Yeah. But I would say successful.
I could think of that. That's another one. I would say creative. I would say innovative. I would say hardworking. No, that's two words.
But I believe that's why I like the word success, because it can be an umbrella term. All those things like pour into success, like creativity, hardworking, client happiness, everything. It's that to me is success. You know what I'm saying?
Awesome. Well, we're going to link to your company in the comments, of course, so people can follow you and see all the stuff that we were talking about right now, including your work. We'll make sure that we post that in there too. And thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for having me.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, you're very welcome.
All right, take care.
Bye.